Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're talking about something very serious. One of the longest running children's franchises of all time. The Power Rangers. Like all of them. Just all the Power Rangers. That it's been going on now they're on their 27th season. They've announced season 28 already. It started in 1993 with Mighty Morphin, then the movie, and then they decided, you know what, this is going good. We can take more of this Super Sentai series that we got this original Power Ranger series from, and just continue to adapt. And they started by moving some of the same team went through, and we had the Power Rangers started with Mighty Morphin, and they lost their powers, so then they got the Zeo Crystal, and they became the Zeo Rangers, and then the team changed from there, and then they went to Turbo, and the team changed again. Slightly at this point before we got the overhaul completely on Power Ranger teams after Power Rangers in Space, which Power Rangers in Space did so much. I mean, to have an overarching theme that went over the whole span of Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin until in Space, which is known mostly to the fandom as the Zordon era, for I guess obvious reasons. If you have seen In Space and you see how it ends, F's in the chat for Zordon. But we go through and they had the Psycho Ranger, like the best evil version of the Power Rangers arc in a series. Which has been done multiple times, but to see the actual full team of evil Rangers fighting the Power Rangers, they're faster than you, or stronger than you, they're better than you, but they're evil. And that's just one of my favorite. I had the VHS, the full length Power Rangers fight the Psycho Rangers feature length movie or full length movie. I don't think couldn't say feature length, but it was a full length because they would release that on VHS all the time. They just put these Power Ranger arcs together on a VHS. This is the full length adventure, the movie, and it's usually we know as it's not a movie, it's the Power Rangers, the episodes, just the different episodes from the season. They did it all the way back from the green with evil storyline with Tommy, and then onward. Now we can just stream it all on Netflix because why not? The Power Rangers has been just this ongoing powerhouse for years. I appreciate what Mighty Morphin did. We would not have what we have gotten without Mighty Morphin originally, but Mighty Morphin is kind of a subpar season of Power Rangers if we get really into it with some of the things that happen later. Like I said, the things that happen within Space, and then we also have the Corone and Andros storyline about him losing his sister. No major spoilers if you haven't seen that already, but that storyline very in depth. Then we have Time Force, super traumatic for me as a kid watching the first episode of Power Rangers Time Force. When you watch the main villain Rancic take his blade sword that he gets from his knee, and he uses it to essentially just gut the Red Power Ranger in the future. We're talking about the year 3000, and he's just, bam, I got this thing because I'm a mutant or whatever. We'll talk about that later. Bam, I don't like you, knife the Ranger. And then Jen is just traumatized. Almost as much as I was. Come on. Imagine being a little kid. That's the first Power Rangers that you really watch. You're 6 years old, if that. You're just watching. And the Red Ranger, before we see Wes become the Red Ranger, you go through and you just... they just killed the Red Power Ranger. Like, you can't just get away with killing the Red Power Ranger, especially in the first episode. But this isn't the first time that's happened, because Lost Galaxy essentially did the same thing, offing the first Red Power Ranger, Mike, by having him go through and try to sacrifice himself to help somebody, and there's no way for Leo to save his brother Mike. He can't grab his hand. He takes the Quasar Saber, and we got one of my favorite Red Rangers of all time, along with the same with, yeah. So, the Power Rangers has just got this, I don't know. I mean, people call it a kids show, and I get it's a kids show, but there's some seasons have these bigger overarching storylines and these more in-depth looks at things, and it's not just in some more adult themes, and it's not just all kids, bright colorful costumes, giant robots fighting monsters. I mean, come on. Imagine how many other people like giant robots fighting monsters. It's not just kids, man. I mean, there's all kinds of people that are that are fans of Godzilla films, and these are essentially a team of superheroes going through, fighting a bad guy, and then you got a giant robot kaiju battle in the middle of the city. Every episode. 50 episodes a season for, 27 years so far. It's pretty crazy. I mean, not all of the seasons are, quite as long. And you're not going to get a giant monster battle in every single episode, but some giant monster battles are more impressive than others. And it's, how can people hate on this show? So, it is a very beloved and a very hated show. It's got a very much love-hate relationship with the public and pop culture, I guess. But we got Power Ranger toys every single year. I mean, Power Rangers continues to go through. It's on the air every single year. We're getting a new team almost, except for the last few years where they've been breaking up the seasons into 2 seasons. And then they have the regular season and the super season, which I guess I'll eventually get to watching those during my rewatch of the entire series that I currently have going on. I fell off on Power Rangers Overdrive. I enjoy watching other Rangers come back. Everybody enjoys watching the original Rangers come back. I always enjoyed watching Adam, the second Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, come back. He came back in space. We'll bring that season up again when he came through with the defective morpher, and he was training Carlos, the Black in Space Ranger. He goes through and he morphs, even though he's advised not to, and then he comes back in Overdrive, circling back to Overdrive that I mentioned. He comes through in that, and then they have the Once a Ranger episode where we get to see SPD, originally the SPD Green Ranger, who got promoted to Blue Ranger and then got promoted to Red Ranger, Bridge, and we get to see the blue, Tori, the blue Ninja Storm Ranger, and I'm sorry, it's been a while, so I can't remember all the Rangers that came back for the special Once a Ranger, but the Once a Ranger, of course, I mentioned it because bringing Adam back, and they've brought other Rangers back, the legendary battle in Super Mega Force, which was super overhyped and pretty underwhelming in my opinion. Now, it was kind of neat, but there was just too much going on. They could have done it a better way, and if they knew how they were going to do it, they shouldn't have hyped it up as much as they did. It wasn't worth all of what happened, and now I haven't watched the season to know all the hype. Most of that's coming from knowing and talking to the fandom and seeing other people's videos. But it's it could have been done better. I mean, they've done really well with other anniversary seasons. Forever Red was a great way to show off all of these past Rangers. I know it was a different time, you know, almost 15 years ago at this point. And they were able to get some of the Rangers, and some of the Rangers are getting older. But I mean, they're bringing Jason, the original Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, back in the current season of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And it's a big crossover between Dino Thunder, Mighty Morphin, and Dino Charge. And they've only really shown that Jason's coming back. Austin St. John, whatever you may want to call him. I'm excited to see if they're going to have other Power Rangers cameo, or if he's going to be the only one we really get. I know if they want to bring one Ranger back, usually they want to bring in a whole team, and I know it's not possible to get all of the actors. Not all the actors want to return. But I feel like, I don't know, do like a mismatch team like they did in Once a Ranger, and try to just get the Power Ranger actors that want to return, and use do what you can with that, because I know they use a lot of the Sentai footage, but they've also in the past and currently are using a lot of like new footage that they're creating, original footage that they're creating for the show. So why can't you just, maybe it's not quite in the budget, maybe, squeeze down a little bit of the budget and put a little bit more into the anniversary stuff, or the nostalgia stuff you're trying to do. I know Hasbro, this is like their first real season since they got the rights to do the Power Rangers, so this is probably their way of paying homage to MMPR, and I think that's why they chose Ryu Soldier, which is essentially like a dinosaur knight type Super Sentai, to be the next original season of Power Rangers. I think they can do well. Hasbro is kind of iffy with some of the toys, and just of what I've seen recently with the toy show of the Zeo Megazord that they've shown. I'm not a big fan that it's not a transforming Megazord. I wish that you could just take the Megazord and transform it. I mean, because I'm a fan of the combiners. Now, if these are Megazords made for a younger audience, you want to give younger kids the option to have, you want you want kids to have options to other Power Ranger Megazords, and other toys to play with, and you don't just want them to have to choose with the Beast Morpher stuff, or maybe the kids are really into Power Rangers. There's 28 seasons. You can go through, they got a backlog of toys that you can continue to go through and make new versions of, but you've got your long time and adult teenage fans that are going to want stuff like the originals. You want combiner Megazords, and I'm not a huge fan of the every single Zord is an individual toy that you have to purchase and then you get the whole thing put together. I know it's kind of a Transformer type deal, what they would do with the Transformers you would buy them separately, and the ones that could combine together, you could do it that way. And it's of course Hasbro, trying to make money, but I could see like a $50 to $60 like smaller version, or I don't know, maybe they could try to lease some of the molds from Bandai Japan for the Sentai toys. Just options. I have no idea how that would work, like logistically, but Hasbro's a decent toy company. I've like some of the toys that they've come out recently with Beast Morphers. Besides the fact that I don't necessarily like the individual toys, then become the Megazord. But it is what it is. Toy companies, or companies in general, they're all out to make their money. But Power Rangers appreciation, go watch it if you haven't. Some seasons are better than others. I personally recommend Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, of course, In Space. You can always watch the original Mighty Morphin. I would recommend White Lightning storyline, where Tommy becomes the White Ranger, or Green with Evil, where Tommy becomes the original Green Ranger before he becomes whatever else. Dino Thunder, which I didn't really touch upon, is another great season where they bring Tommy back. And one of my all-time favorite seasons that I cannot forget to mention once again, and the recommendation for Time Force. If anybody's still watching this video, you got to go watch Power Rangers Time Force. There's the comic coming out. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that, because it's like a love story comic book, and I assumed that you would do something better, but who knows what they might do with this. It's all up in the air until we actually get the comics released. But until next time, remember, some of us are just born geeky. Like, comment, subscribe if y'all are still there, and have a great one.